So here's the thing. I guess I have a shark phobia. I mean, a healthy one like everybody else. But I went swimming with sharks with my friend Carrie Keegan, and for the Shark Week shows. And I don't know how to swim. Well, I mean, I know how to swim, but I'm a bad swimmer. And I have if there's one like thing on the earth that makes me nervous, it's the ocean for two reasons. I'm a bad swimmer, and two, there's so much you can't see. Do you know what I mean? When I'm if I've been in the Bahamas and I can see everything, no fear. Jumping in the water when you can't see a fucking thing. When I did Shark Week, and because people started telling me things I didn't know, when I did Shark Week, I asked a guy, he goes, do you go swimming in Santa Monica? I go, I don't swim in Santa Monica. I mean, it's pretty gross, but I've been in the water. He said, well, if you've been in the water up to your waist, 100% chance you've been within 4 feet of a shark. I said, what? He goes, yeah, it's 100% chance. 4 feet is a nice estimate, but 100% chance. I go, what? He said, yeah, man, but they're not interested in you. And I was like, yeah, until they are. You know what I mean? Until they decide, oh, I like that pale-legged dude over there. And I'm so pale. My fear is, I'm so pale. I have a weird fear that like my legs kind of look like, you know, those deep sea fish. Yeah. You know, like where it's my legs are so pale, they're almost light blue. You know what I'm saying? They have that kind of translucent feel. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, they might not like human legs, but they're gonna like the way this one looks. But I went swimming, and they put me in the you know, whatever you call it, not jumpsuit, but wetsuit. And the guy was like, so, and we were about to jump. I go, hey, when do I get the snorkel lesson? And the guy said, we were filming it for Discovery. He said, can you cut cameras? He said, do you not know how to snorkel? I go, no, I've never snorkeled before. He said, you've never snorkeled? I said, no. And he goes, okay. And he started talking about swimming. I go, oh, I don't really know how to swim either. And he was like, and this is what he said. He goes, can you bring out that other waiver? And as soon as he said other waiver, I'm like, oh, that's the death waiver. And so we had to sign the other waiver. And I said, tell me what my big risks are. And he goes, I don't even know where to start. He goes, let's start with this. He said, you know, there's a weight. Because the first time he threw me in, I didn't know there was a weight around my waist. I start to sink and panic because and so somebody lifted me up, right? He goes, let's start with the weight. I'm going to throw you in the water. You don't know how to swim? You're going to panic. He said, you're going to breathe in through the snorkel. You're going to choke and die. He said, just say the weight doesn't get you. Just say you figure it out. Well, when you jump in, the snorkel fills up with water. Your first instinct is to breathe, not to blow out. When you get up to the top, you're going to breathe in a bunch of water. You're going to choke and die. He said, let's just say you figure those two things out. Okay? There's a strong current out here. You have a weight on your waist. You're a bad swimmer. You're going to end up, I don't even know how far away from here. You're going to get super tired. You're going to panic. You're going to sink and die. He said, let me just add in the sharks. He said, you know, we're throwing chum around here. Chum. He said, if you don't know how to get out of the way of the chum, you are part of the chum. You can't be in it. If you see a shark coming and you're in the middle of the chum, you're going to panic. You're going to sink and die. And I was like, holy shit, man. I go, how can we help? He goes, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take the snorkel out of your hands. They tied a rope around my waist, and they took the weight off, so I was buoyant. They tied a rope around my waist, and they threw the chum around me. So I'd get the sharks and me in the same shot. And I said, I just want to make sure I got this right. I'm tied to a rope around raw meat. And they said, yeah. I'm like bait? And the guy was like, try not to think of yourself as that. But yeah, I go, because I can't really swim away. I'm attached to the boat and a rope. And he goes, yeah, that's true. And so I went in, attached to the rope. Oh, I forgot to mention to you that I get these things called cluster headaches. I don't know if you know what those are, but they're like migraines times 100. So the night before I got cluster headache. The cluster headaches last. So I took, I guess, 2 Vicodin and probably 2 edibles just to kind of dull the pain for the morning. So I was fucked up. And so when I got on the boat, like when I get that high, only my right eye doesn't open. So I was on the boat, like, what's going on, everybody? And so the head of Discovery was like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, just if I start to sink, just pull me in on the rope. And the sharks came, and there was a little mako shark. It was super cool. And the guy said to me, he goes, hey, if a shark comes up to you, it's going to bump you once just to see what you are. He said, don't let it bump you again, because that's how it tests if you're bait. I mean, if you're food or not. He said, so just make sure you push it with your hand on the nose. And I go, yeah, but the nose is right next to the mouth, man. You know, is there a different part of the body I could push it? You know what I mean? Like, it seems like if I put my hand out, that seems like, and he goes, yeah, that's what we do. I'm like, not we, you. You're going to reel me in before that second bump comes.